we got a Marelli Bisa 12-inch, 30 centimeter table fan, early 1920s. Very good website that tells you all about these Marelli fans. Marelli fan wordpress.com. But I wanted to show just a little bit about some of the workings, particularly the oscillating part of this model, which has got this telescopic strut, which links with the base to the motor. Here we've got the assembly for the motor here, which is the front plate. And I've obviously taken this because I'm going to do some work on this, but I think it's interesting looking inside here to get a feel for what's going on. On the outside of this plate, we've got this nicely knurled lever here, which is up, I believe, if I remember rightly, is for engaging the oscillating moment, and down for it not oscillating. Yeah. So in the not oscillating mode, and you can see here I'd spin this, and that doesn't move. This bit here, which connects to the telescopic oscillating arm. If I now move this into the on position for oscillation, you see as I move this also will turn the telescopic strut. Interesting feature here is it appears to have, well, it has got a kind of a sponge, if you like, here, wedged above the cog here, and I'm pretty sure I've got a little instruction manual here that comes with came with this Bisa. It talks about lubrication and putting some drops of fluid through the hole marked oil, which is this here, marked oil. And it nowhere else talks about maintenance here. It talks about here a few drops of good quality mineral oil be given occasionally, say at the start of the season, in the hollow to the hole in the whole spindle of the worm wheel. And I presume by that it means that this is the worm wheel, the worm wheel here, which comes into the front plate, which is then engages with this gear cog here, you can see, which is, yeah, so this turns the oscillation. You can see that it's turning around there, turns around the telescopic strut as the rotor turns. And so for my mind, this is just oil used on this. There's no grease. When I bought this, it had grease packed in here, but I'm convinced now that it's not supposed to have grease packed in here. It's oil. And in actual fact, this pad absorbs oil, which comes through from the top here, this oil cap here, and through the hollow spindle, and it comes out. You just make out there's a gap there. Move this. And the oil comes out across this disc at the top here and into there and runs down the teeth of the wheel, which then lubricates this. Oh dear, and I've knocked over a couple of oilers here. Oh dear. You see what's happened here? Well, anyway, that moves on to the oilers. There's the next part here. Yeah, dear, bit of a mess. Anyway, the oilers. So yeah, going back to that, yeah. So that's oil and not grease in there. We'll have a look at this, because I think this is a lovely piece of engineering. I wondered how this strut worked. So I've got a Nordico fan Marelli which this strut is missing, and the cog here as well is missing, and it can't oscillate. And I guess he had big problems with these things. I've seen no end of these very early phases 2 and 3 oscillating Marelli fans, which have either got these looking limp hanging on the top of from the top plate, or missing altogether. So I guess these things broke a lot, or they got churned up with the cogs here as they were spinning, because this wheel, of course, rotates all the time, whether it's engaged or not. That wheel here, this cog wheel here, is turning all the time. So I imagine the amount of wear that thing must get. So it's not surprising. See, the thing's 100 years old, this fan. It's amazing. It goes beautifully, I must say, actually. But the engineering details, and that's one of the features I love about these early oscillating Marellis, is this strut that turns around, and there's the banana cog inside of here where it goes all the way 310 degrees to one side and to the other by this strut. And it's a beautiful piece of engineering. I think it's actually made out of these two pieces of brass, and I'm not sure even whether this isn't turned from a single piece of brass. It may not be. It may be the two pieces that have milled out this gap here and welded it to this part of the strut, the same other end. And they go inside of this, go these two little knuckle connectors, which fit inside here, fits inside there like that, and then a screw connects it to one to here. You can see I've got the screw in there, down at the bottom here, and one at the top as well on the plate as well here. You see this on the plate here, the front plate. So I think it's just amazing workmanship, amazing detail that they went into to produce these things. I've collected other fans. I've collected English limits, engineering fans, Siemens fans, but I must say the quality engineering in these, I have to confess, these Italian Marellis is just absolutely fantastic. You know, they really have paid a lot of attention to detail in these fans, and they really are lovely pieces of working art, really, I'd say. And obviously these people, they took it very seriously, and they produced some very good stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to show you something about the oscillation part of these fans, because it doesn't really appear to be very well documented, in my opinion, about the details of how these are. And if anybody ever wants to manufacture one of these, which I might have a go myself, I'm probably going to take the dimensions of this strut, telescopic strut, and I may well upload it onto the internet as well, so that people need to manufacture these, at least they've got a sporting chance of doing so. These Oilers unfortunately fell over, didn't they? They made a right mess here. Fortunately, on the tray, otherwise imagine the wife had gone spare working in the kitchen table. So, and a very simple thing, it's a woolen wick goes into the spring, which goes into the oiler. These, it would have been nickel plated brass. You can see somebody's tried to rub at this, getting down to the brass, but the nickel was there to help prevent corrosion. Obviously the brass looks nicer perhaps, doesn't it? But nevertheless, it was intended to be nickel plated for that reason, to protect it from the any corrosion, etc. So maybe the other thing worth mentioning is these thrust washers here, and the front plate, and on the rear plate where it goes into the rear plate over here. And one thing, very important thing, I think is very important to mention actually, now remember it, is that you might see inside here there are two holes either side of where this oiler screws into. Now these are, I've got it here upside down, it would be the other way around. These, on this particular model, the oilers being bigger ones, the screw, the hang underneath it. But you can see these holes, they allow the oil to flow back into the oiler pot, and they very often block these. I found it on my Nordico as well, and this was caked in old oil. So there's no way any of the oil was going to return back again. It wasn't going to flow round and round, circulate. So it's an important thing to do that, is remove all the old oil, which is hardened and formed a sludge, to get down to these holes and unblock them. Maybe using a bit of W40 I did, just blast it through so it comes through. You can see it coming through onto the other side, the bearing plate here, so you've unblocked them. That's an important feature. Okay, if you like this video, then give it the thumbs up, and I might make some more if there's interest in how some of these things work. I can also do some of the electrical side as well, of the speed controller, which I think is very interesting too. Okay.